All right, what up, guys? I'm here with Kyle,
Hello.
a top eighter of the event, winning these beautiful cards right here. We're here to show off his cool law deck. He's going to tell us what he thinks. He's going to show us his cards, and we're going to see, what exactly he has different than the other laws, and how he made top eight. And would you like to say anything about yourself before we start?
So yeah, hi, I'm Kyle. I go by the username Zabara, if you see me around in Discord. I'm from the Rochester, New York area, and we made our
Represent.
Flower City Pirates, our whole Jolly Roger with the flowers.
I love it.
Flower City, the skyline of Rochester.
That's amazing.
And then in the back is the emblem of the city of Rochester. So
Really, really nice. Really, really nice. All right,
representing my local scene. We have a really big local scene in both Rochester and Buffalo, New York. Some stores like check out Millennium Games. It's a big one.
Perfect.
So
And let's see your deck.
So first off, for one drops, we have 4 beige. So you want to play as many 1 drops as you can in law, because you need to consistently trigger your leader ability. If you aren't consistently triggering your leader ability, why are you even playing law?
Exactly.
Because you need to get that value to maintain the board state and dominance. So next up, we have 3 of Mononosuke. So Mononosuke is kind of an edge case searcher. If you already have all your pieces, you can find them to get more counters. Or if you're missing an Otama for a jet pistol for dealing with 8-drop kid, you can try and find it with a Mononosuke. If there's a big threat on the board that's a 3-drop, you can try and search for a Nekomushi. The problem with Mononosuke is there's only 11 targets in the deck.
Right.
So you're most likely going to win. So the only time I ever search for this is if I have all my pieces, because I'm now not bottoming something I need to win the game.
Of course.
Or if I'm just trying to get extra cards because I have extra Dawn to throw away. So let's deal with him. Typically, if I already went off and did my Bonnies and Namis, I'll usually ditch Mononosuke in my hand for a counter because it did its purpose if I already have Otama.
Right.
Next up, obviously, we have 4 Nami. Absolutely critical for the game because you go Nami into Bonnie, and then you bounce Nami for your 5-drop law to play 5-drop law, and then you bounce the Bonnie to play a Zoro or Nika Robin or some other 3-drop. So just a key piece of the deck. Next up, we have 4 Chopper, just more 1-drops to throw on the board. It's nice to chump when they're trying to do the Nekomushi before you're killing your Nami or your Bonnie or something. All around, just one of the best 1-drops you can have, besides Nami and Bonnie. The all-star of the deck, Bonnie, because it has the most search targets and it searches everything you could ever want. Jet pistol, any of your big straw hats, or the laws. Next up, we have Otama, absolute 4 of, because it's a 2K counter, and it allows you to easily swing into stuff or jet pistol stuff that is out of range.
Right.
It's also another search target from Mononosuke, and it's a 1-drop that has an on-play effect. Next up, absolute 4 of Nekomushi. Almost every green deck I build has 4 Nekomushi because this card is bonkers. It allows you to get rid of pesky chump blockers or get rid of searchers that they haven't utilized yet. Just absolute
Legend of a card.
In my opinion, Brook is the best 2K counter in the game because it is Dawn efficient. You play a Brook and then you immediately attach 2 rested Dawn.
Right.
If you're already going to attach Dawn to something, it's a free drop. And then if you don't
fill the board, basically.
Yeah, and if you need to fill up the board, it's a body and board, and it has an on-play effect, so it's great for bouncing.
That's right.
Towards the end of the game, if you need an extra attacker, you could drop it just to get a body on board. But usually you try and either save it in your hand for a counter or play it to get bodies on board to activate leader ability. Next up is a 1 of Monkey D. Luffy,
Ooh,
the
interesting.
2-drop. This is the card that you want to see early game. Late game, it doesn't do much. Because the idea is that you drop it early game, turn 3 or 4, you have enough for leader ability. So your leader ability, bounce your Nami Bonnie, play as Rush Zoro. you swing with Rush Zoro, you swing with Luffy, because typically when you do your leader ability, you have no extra Don available.
Right.
And you want to swing with more than one character, because otherwise you're just going to go leader into your one character that's suspended. So this allows you to get 2 attacks off. It's just some easy aggression for the early game.
Interesting.
And it's also a double search target. It gets searched by Bonnie and Nami as a low drop.
Interesting.
Because sometimes you need to just search bodies on board. Next up, we have 2 Nika Robin. Very similar ideology as Luffy. It's amazing early game, terrible late game. Really good against the Law matchup because it can kill their weenies that they're trying to get bodies on board with. Can kill jump blockers. And if you have Otama, you obviously can combo to kill a 5k or less. Or maybe more if you have more Otamas you're going to throw away. But yeah, if it gets to late game, I usually end up using it as a counter or something.
Right.
You just want to see it early game. Also, the other thing is if I'm going turn 3 or turn 4 leader ability, I don't want to be swinging with my Rush Zoro, because then I'll have only one character suspended, and they'll just do leader at the suspended character. You want them to like swing at your life because you have a bajillion blockers. Yeah. So if you have Nika Robin in your hand, you could just play that, and you're not swinging anyways. So it's better than a Zoro if you're not swinging that turn anyways.
Right.
So that's why I have it as a 2 of. The problem I don't put more in is because late game it gets pretty bad.
Yeah.
Give me a dead card in hand, but it helps with the early game advantage. Of course, we have 4 Zoro. The reason it's a 4 of is because it helps you get an extra attacker on board to finish off the game. It's amazing with 5-drop Law. Some people could argue drop a Zoro for something else, but it's just comes in clutch when you need just one extra attacker. And when you go to swing, you try to like suspend as much of your board as possible, because then they only have so many attackers and they can't swing at everything that's suspended. So
Right.
next up we have 1 of Killer. This is really good against the mirror, against killing Okiku, and for killing like Rush Zoros and the Zoro deck.
Have you ever got it off the trigger?
I have. Even if I don't have any targets, it's a free body that I didn't have to pay anything for.
You can potentially use Law's effect on turn 2 if you.
Yeah. I've got it on security and it's been bonkers. I only run 3 jet pistols because I need to get bodies on board. And if I don't get those bodies on board, why am I even playing Law? Although jet pistol is amazing against the mirror or green. Yeah, any green deck. Because like you want a jet pistol Basil Hawkins. You want to have the Otama jet pistol for 8-drop Kid.
Yeah.
But it's pretty awful against like Luffy and Zoro because they're already swung with their 6k. So you're killing something that's already suspended. So you'd rather have a body in order to activate leader ability and then just swing at the suspended thing. So that's why I only run 3 jet pistol, because it could be bricky. But I only run 2 5-drop Luffys because it's only for really closing out the game or dealing with a 8-drop Kid that you don't have an Otama jet pistol for. You don't want to see 5-drop Luffy early in the game because like it's not doing anything. You could have just done the same thing with a Rush Zoro, because you're only getting 1k more if you're not throwing the 2 Don under it. And the only time you really throw 2 Don under it to guarantee it can't be blocked is if you're swinging into like a Basil Hawkins or a 8-drop Kid, or they have 0 life or something. So that's why I only run 2 Luffy, because it's edge case.
Makes sense.
Absolute 4 of all the value in the world, because bounce Nami, play Law, bounce Bonnie, play a Zoro. That's easy. I play 1 of this Law because sometimes you just need to throw all your Don under one thing and then unsuspend it and swing again. Helps you deal with big stuff on the board that's hard to get rid of or to close out the game. And this has actually been like an MVP for this tournament, the 1 of 8-drop Kid. It won me like 3 games.
How did it do versus green?
So sometimes we have like a kid standoff where we have 2 8-drop kids, and then eventually like I get the Otama jet pistol and then I deal with their kid easy, whereas they have to actually swing into my kid, and I have a bajillion chump blockers. You don't want to run more than 1 of this because it's very bricky, it's not a body on board, and it's only usable in the end of the game. You don't want this in your opening hand. It's going to sit there forever in your opening hand.
Okay.
But that's the deck. Thank
Well,
you so much for your time.
Well, I'll ask you a few questions, I guess. In
Yeah.
top 16, you said you played Kid, right?
Correct, yeah.
And what was your strategy versus Green this whole event? Did you ever attack their life at the beginning, or did you wait till turn 7, 8 to start hitting their life points? Like, what was your route to win versus Green?
So against green, there's no. You want to get the damage in because you don't really care if they get more counters in their hand. You just want to try and keep the pressure on. But you don't want to be swinging with just one character and giving them a free attack target. You
Right.
want them to be hitting your life because what Kid will sometimes do is they won't swing at all your life, and then you might get starved for resources if you have a terrible hand. If you have a really good hand, it doesn't matter if they don't swing your life because you're just getting value off of just doing your combos. But yeah, so especially with this particular build, I try and do early damage with the Luffy combo early game. If I can get early game board dominance, I've never lost any game where that happened. But if I'm bricking on my searchers, I'll just run out of gas.
Okay.
So that's the deal with that. But,
And what do you think your hardest matchup was this tournament?
well, I played. What was it? So the first day, it was 7 kids.
7 kids you played?
7 kids, 1 Zoro and 1 Kaido.
Oh my God, you were primed to beat them.
I lost to 1 kid because I bricked hard. And then day 2, I beat a kid and lost to a kid.
Oh my
The reason I
God.
lost to the kid is game 2, I didn't see my searchers at all. In game 3, I mulliganed because my hand had an 8-drop kid and a 5-drop and no searchers. And my mulligan hand was 3 5-drops and 2 Raj Zoros. I'm I'm not winning this game. I came close though. I brought it back. 8-drop kid almost won me that game where I had a really bricky hand.
Very
So,
impressive. Very impressive.
But
All right. Well, thanks for the deck profile, man. Kyle, congrats on top 8.
Thank you.
These cards look absolutely sick. And hopefully we see you soon. Any other events in the future? Vegas, perhaps?
no, I don't have any plans to travel unless they make a new sign up.
Oh, I see. Because the
I tried to
signups are a
do
travesty.
the online tournaments, but I had terrible internet
Ah.
access here, so I didn't get into any of them. So
Well, it's okay. I mean, thanks for the deck profile, man, and good luck in the rest.
Thank you.
I'll see you again soon, hopefully.
it's great meeting you.
Thanks for the profile,
Thank
man.
you. Bye.